Hello, my name is Šarūnas Narbutas, Lithuanian. I'm a cancer patient living with chronic myelogenous leukemia. Just a month ago, I reached a remission after 12 years on therapy. For many decades, patients in the context of research were considered just as trial subjects. And now the momentum is really changing because the patients with quite difficult conditions are living longer. The disease, which used to be a death sentence 10 years ago, in my particular case, now has a life expectancy of a close to normal population. For the patients that are being involved in the research, we have better results. We do not need to wait a decade to know what research is ongoing and what results it will yield, because we can start fixing that in the process. So patients involved in the research always comes up as a better quality research. And now we are actually seeing that the patients are able to shape the dialogue and to set the priorities for research and to actively contribute in there. So it's not just to be the passive reviewers of clinical trial protocols or informed consents, but tell that we do not like the design as it is. And it's not just about the clinical research, but so much about the psychological research and socioeconomic factors that are just as emerging as a field. And I think that the patient advocates and the patients are the best positioned to address those issues, not just wait for researchers to come up with a great hypothesis. I think up to date I have been involved in over a dozen of different research projects, which is not just the same, repeated in different cohort or in different year, but all the concepts are different. And this is why it's very rewarding. In the CML community, we have initiated 3 research projects that I have been involved just as a community. We have a continuous dialogue with 5 companies involved in CML. As one example, we actually took onto ourselves ambitious task to define what is value from a patient perspective. And we did a literature review for another global organization, Global Action for Cancer Patients, that we presented the results, for instance, in HDI Congress this year and in the UICC conference 2 years ago. Many people do not see the patients as experts, but actually the patient is expert on its own disease. No one knows better how the therapy works on the patient. No one knows better if it is difficult to take the therapy or if it is actually the issues that the therapy is addressing is the ones that patients want to look at. I think often when the companies or universities try to replicate what others did by involving patients, they just want to look through the protocol and tick the boxes that I have asked the patient. This is not a meaningful involvement. This is the tokenism that it's nice to be in the room, but we don't really care about your opinion. Meaningful involvement is when patients pose difficult questions, and these questions are being taken into consideration. If you are doing it, do it properly, because if you don't, then the patients will get angry for you, wasting our time, not advancing our interests, and just by asking us to second the things that you were thinking about. Because I'm coming from Central European country, we didn't have a strong health policy after the post-Soviet era. And it was because of EU level of coordination we were able to move forward, developing national cancer plans, developing national rare diseases plans, cross-border healthcare directive, clinical trials regulation. So these are the pieces that helped to improve not just health policy in that particular situation in Lithuania, but also allowed patients to get access to the therapies or to the information which would not otherwise be available. From my perspective, that we need more health in the EU and not less.